Hey everyone, Larry here. Do you ever think back to the time when there was no social media, there was no internet, there were no websites? I mean, we're going back a few years. I remember a time when I had moved to Thailand and I built my own scuba shop business or my own scuba business, including a scuba shop from scratch. I started in a little house I'd rented not too far from the beach, and I would ride my motorcycle with my tank strapped to the seat behind me to the beach and a gear bag as a backpack, and then I would unload my gear on the beach and do my diving there. But like any business, one of the challenges that I had was getting clients who were going to be my scuba diving students. And so I developed this little process that worked out really well. It was my prospecting process for a tropical country living in Thailand many, many years ago with no technology involved. I would go to the local kiosk bars or outside along the beach around, just before dinner time, and I'd order myself a beer, sip on it very slowly, and of course the traveling people, tourists would show up and come to the bar and have a drink. So to engage them, I would just ask a few simple questions, and I would say hello to somebody who came in, pulled up chair up to the bar because it was outside and there was sand everywhere, beach. It was nice. Each these little kiosk bars could maybe take about 15 or 18 people, and there was a few of them. So somebody come and sit down. I would say, "Hey, how you doing? Where are you from?" Then I'd shut up, and they'd say, "I'm doing great." And because I asked them, "Where are you from?" they pretty much asked me the same question within a few seconds. They said, "Well, where are you from?" And I said, I'm from where I was in Canada. I'm from Victoria, British Columbia, Canada is where I was from, but I live here now. And they go, "Oh, really? What do you do?" So I said, "Well, I'm a scuba diving instructor. I take people diving." And then I just shut up. And like 9 out of 10 times, the people would say, "I always wanted to do that." And I said, "Really?" They said, "Yeah, I always did." I said, "Well, I'm going diving tomorrow. Um, I'll come by your hotel and pick you up, and I'll take you for a what we called a discovery dive or a dive off the beach, right? You didn't have to be certified, but with your instructor, teach them a couple of things, take them for a 30 or 40-minute dive after a little bit of instruction, and that cost $100. And I would get their hotel and their room number, and I'd zip around there in the morning at about 8:30, quarter to 9, and scoop them up and take them off to the beach with me. I already dropped my equipment off there. Take them off to the beach, and we load up, and we do the little instruction we need to do on the beach. I'd walk him in off the beach. I'd take him for a 40-minute dive in 12, 15, 20 feet of water, show him a bunch of pretty fish, and that'd be $100. And then to continue that, I'd say, if you had a great time today, I can take you tomorrow and I'll knock off $25 off the dive because we already did some of the instruction. And that worked out really well. I mean, it was low key. I was connecting with people, and sometimes there's more questions than that, but it was no pressure. I just said to myself, I don't care if you want to dive or not. But, it was so interesting, exciting, and because there was a kinship between them being either American or Canadian or European that then there was a trust factor in there just because I was a Westerner. So this was just before the Gulf War, and I was making a killing. I think I was living in my little house. I think the rent was about $180 a month, and my food bill, because of eating at restaurants, might have been another $100 a month. Like I was living for, I don't know, under $350 a month easily. And from this little diving business that I had, I only had my gear and one set of gear to start with, and I ended up getting a second set of gear. But I would only take one or two people at the same time because I wanted them to do a good job. I wanted them to have a lot of fun. I wanted them to sign up for the next few days to continue diving or take a course from me. But honestly, I made more money just taking them on little fun dives. It was not time consuming. It was quick. It was easy, and it was $100 a pop, and subsequent dives were $75 a pop. And I was pulling in, after a short period of time, I was pulling in $4,000 or $5,000 a month doing that, living on $300 or $400 a month, and I was loving it. So anyway, that's my little story about a time before there was technology and social media and websites and email. The only piece of media I had were these little business cards that are made out of some sort of flexible urethane plastic or something, and they could get wet and not get destroyed. I'd be handing those out, and right at the top, I didn't have a business name, but right at the top is what I did. I'll take you diving, my name, and the fact that I was a PADI scuba instructor and things like that, and it worked like a charm. So, can you think of a time back when you were running businesses, some of the challenges you had before the time of technology, and what you did to solve those challenges or to overcome some of those challenges? Let me know. Anyway, thanks for listening. We'll talk to you soon, and take care.